Hello, this is a presentation on how to rig a rainbow. Before rigging the rainbow, please make sure of two very important things. Number one, all members of the crew should be encouraged to wear a life jacket. And two, it is important to check the safety gear on your boat and be sure that it is securely stowed. We are installing almost all of our safety gear in the cabin of the boat. However, the anchor and the emergency flag are installed in the lazarette. Now, let's begin putting the sails on the boat, starting with the mainsail. You can identify the main by the three corners of the sail. First, there is a corner which has a line attached, which is the clew. Secondly, there is a corner called the tack. And thirdly, there is the top of the sail, which is called the head. The process of installing the mainsail on the boat begins with the clew and the foot of the sail, which you insert in a groove in the top of the boom. And you pull the clew of the sail toward the stern of the boat. When you have pulled it far enough, the forward corner of the sail, the tack, will be next to a pin called the tack pin, which you insert through the boom and the ring in the sail. You then secure the clew of the sail using the outhaul line. Next, you want to install the front edge of the sail, which is called the luff. You do this by inserting a series of small slides into a groove on the back side of the mast. Once you have installed all of those slides, you will find hanging from the mast a cotter pin, which you insert in the hole at the base of the groove, and this will secure all of the slides to the mast. Now we are going to install a reefing line in the mainsail, which is attached to the boom, and you feed it through the grommet in the leech of the sail, and then through the pulley on the side of the boom, and secure the front end of the line to a cleat at the forward end of the boom. This line is used to reef the sail, which is a process that we will discuss at a later point during your class. Now let's install the jib, which goes up in the bow of the boat. When you pull the jib out of the sail bag, please be sure to put the sail bag safely away in the cabin of the boat so it doesn't blow overboard. This is the jib, and the corner closest to you is the tack, which goes in the bow of the boat, and the luff of the sail is laying right on the top, and you use these little bronze hanks to attach the sail to the forestay of the boat. Please be sure that all those hanks face in the same direction. That way there will not be a twist in the sail. Once you have secured all the hanks so that the luff is attached to the forestay, we next want to install the two jib sheets, which are permanently attached to the clew of the jib. One jib sheet goes down the starboard side of the boat, outside the shrouds, and through the pulley on the block on the deck, which is called the fairlead block. There is another jib sheet which goes down the port side of the boat. In the end of each jib sheet, you want to tie a stopper knot. Here we are showing you the figure 8 stopper knot. There are two lines on the boat that are used to pull the sails up to the top of the mast. The line on the port side is for the jib. The line on the starboard side is for the mainsail. These lines are called halyards, and they are stored out around the end of the spreader. And as you can see here, we are freeing those lines from the end of the spreader. One end of each halyard is tied to a cleat at the base of the mast. The other end has a stainless steel fitting on it called a shackle. Please do not let go of the shackle. What you want to do with the shackle is to attach it securely to the head of the mainsail, as you see occurring here, and also to the head of the jib, as we are doing here. Now it is time to pull the sails up to the top of the mast. You want to be sure of three things before you begin raising the mainsail. One, that the boat is pointing into the wind. Second, that the downhaul line, which is at the forward end of the boom, hanging down from the boom, is free, and that the main sheet at the rear of the boom is free. This will permit us to raise the mainsail so that the orange triangle at the head of the sail can be pulled all the way up to the top of the mast. You then want to secure the halyard to the cleat at the base of the mast with a cleat hitch. And you will notice that there's a lot of the halyard laying on the deck. You want to coil this line up. And once you have coiled the line up, take your free hand and reach through the center of the coil and pull the original part of the line through the coil and hang it on the top of the cleat. That looks very shipshape. Now, the downhaul is used to tighten the luff of the main. And you do that by pushing down on the boom and then tying the boom down with the downhaul line, as we're showing you here. Finally, we want to raise the jib. And you want to get the jib up as far as it will go and get it tight so we take all the stretch out of the sail and the halyard. You do that by sweating the jib, which means that we both pull on the jib halyard so as to get the stretch out, and then we secure the halyard to the cleat on the base of the mast and store the excess halyard as we did with the main halyard. Now we are ready to go sailing, and we push away from the dock and trim in our sails and head off for a sail. With your sails full of wind, you can say that you're taking to sailing like a duck takes to water.